Welcome back. So this lesson we're going to try and get a random joke, or use this function at least to fake that we're getting a random joke. Right now it's very static, we're always getting the first joke, but let's just try and use that inside our home TypeScript file right here. We don't want to anymore, we don't want to kind of hard code this guy, so I'm just going to delete it right here, and instead we're going to figure out how we can actually use our newly created joke service to actually go and grab that joke. And you can do that by adding right here a comma, and then because the service is actually what we call injectable, meaning that it's a dependency injected service, I can just put in this name. So I'm going to go back to my TypeScript file for the home page right here, and I'm going to write private. We'll talk about private public later, and here I'm just going to call this the joke service in my case, and that's going to be of the type joke service provider. There we go. Now automatically goes and imports this file right here for me. So now we have the joke service provider available. Now we can actually say joke service provider dot get random joke, and there we go. Now I'm getting the random joke and put it in here. Let's try and see if it works. Back to my code. I'm getting an exception. I'm not quite satisfied with that. And no provider for somebody for the service. It says something about no provider for joke service provider. Now, when I see stuff like that, and I'm actually going into the app module, and I can see that here's the app module service provider, and it's actually added down here as provider, my guess is that something went wrong with the build. So I'm just going to try and rerun Ionic Serve, and if you don't know how to do that yet, when it's running, you can just press Control-C, and on the Windows you'll have to press yes or Y and enter. And on Mac you should just press Control-C twice and it'll shut down the server. So Control-C to shut down your server. And I'll just write Ionic Serve again. It'll try to start it all up again, and hopefully when it's started up it'll know there's a provider available. So if you see the no provider available like I just got right here, just try and restart your Ionic app and things should be better. And it seems that it's actually running, and there we go, we have the joke back that we just expect to see here. Now let's just try and see if we can actually go and grab the second random joke here. So I'm going to go into the joke service right here, and I'm going to actually go down and say let's try service 1 instead, like this. Let's jump back, and now it's saying the other joke, right? Let's try and go and grab service 2 right here. Going back, there we go, building, grabbing the last joke. Sweet! So it's working. Now we just have to figure out how we can actually randomize this number each time we start our application, and then we're pretty much up and running. Now to get a random number, I'm just going to paste something in here. This is just a way of actually getting a random number. You can read it yourself, but it's just one way of actually generating random numbers inside the JavaScript setup, and the math is just a mathematical class that JavaScript provides that can do like the floor is going to take a number that's a decimal number and take the downward nearest integer, meaning if it's 1.5 it'll be 1, if it's 2.5 it'll be 2, right? So that's kind of what this does. This will just go and grab a random number for us, and then we're going to just get using the length of the number of jokes, and then we're going to get a random number within that range. Let's see if this works right here. So right now I have the joke of Anton, that's the second joke. Let's try and do it again. Now we have the last joke. Let's do it again. Now we have the second joke, again, the first joke, right? So I can just keep randomizing here, and I'll get a horse walks into a bar, so I'll just skip into a random joke. Now you can just read this a few times. This is just a way that we can do a random joke right here. I'm not going to spend too much time here because that's not the exact same way we're going to do it later, but now we have a random joke generator inside our provider. See you next time.